Empowerment.
It's about you.
The kind of talk that inspires change.
Good morning. I cannot wait to jump into this show. Can we just start the interview right now? It's Zakiya Larry live, and today we are talking how to stop being a jack of all trades. Now, you've heard that phrase, a jack of all trades, master of none. That just means a person who's doing so much stuff that they still haven't mastered one particular thing. They haven't become an expert. And a lot of times, entrepreneurs have this syndrome, and it's horrible because they've not defined their brand. So therefore, you're not as successful, you're not as streamlined, you're not making the kind of revenue that you could because you're pulled in far too many directions. So last show, we talked a lot about how to get healthy and healing. And then I promised you that this week, with that newfound energy that you're getting from the tips last week, you can use that to build a brand, build a business. And if you are a seasoned business owner, there is something for you too today. Here's what I mean. Let me prove it to you. Today, I am talking to two absolutely phenomenal forces. Up first, we are going to have the Senior Vice President of Content, Alfred Edmond Jr., the SVP of Black Enterprise. When I tell you this man is brilliant, and Black Enterprise, listen, we have the head of not just a publication, but a line of business, a line of live events. This guy is at the helm of all of this and telling the business stories in the communities of color that matter. So I think he's a great person to tell us how to stop being a jack of all trades and also how to make sure you're really getting in there, maximizing resources, and elevating your business. And then after we talk to Alfred, we're going to have $1 million branding business guru, Vicki Irvin. I love Vicki Irvin. When I tell you she is out here making money for folks, helping people to do so, and changing lives in the process. And then after that, we're going to be proof positive here at the Zakiya Larry live show. I'm going to do the Z method. So what is the Z method? Outside of just having my initial in it, the Z method was something that I developed as a director of publicity for some international names, including, T.D. Jakes, and I've worked with folks, Van Moody. That's just in the faith-based arena. But the thing is, I developed this process so that I could find a core message because, I'm taking an internal message to a larger audience. I'm building brands. And so I use the Z method to figure out what that is. It's something I created to help me. But here's what happened. I found out by using the Z method that I wasn't just coming up with really cool messages or talking points for these businesses. I was actually finding your core. And by finding your core, a few things happened. People started to get clear on their brand direction. People started to get clear on their brand goals. Folks started to get clear on the next steps for brand elevation. I just thought I was creating a system to write talking points, and I've been able to do more research, more tests, and develop it into something that is literally shifting lives. And you'll see what I mean in a minute. So with Alfred and Vicki and the Z method, after today's show, you are going to be able to launch and elevate in ways that you have not been able to before, especially if you're an entrepreneur or considering entrepreneurship. And so it's so important because a Kaufman study recently released said 55,000 Americans launch new businesses each month. So that's probably some of the folks listening right now. And it's still growing. So the thing is, you are going to want these tools. And listen, We all know someone, even if it's yourself, that says, hey, I do hair and I cut lawns and I do, yeah, jack of all trades. It's way too much. So make sure you join the conversation with our guests today. We're going to cut through that fat. Use hashtag ZL Live on social media. Also, you can give me a call at 832-230-5592. So a lot of greatness today. Make sure you are weighing in. Now, without further ado, oh my gosh, we have on the line this morning Alfred Edmond Jr. Good morning.
Good morning, Zakiya. How are you?
I'm excellent. How are you?
I'm excellent, too. Those are the only kind of days I have, excellent and amazing.
What, you only have excellent and amazing days?
Yeah, on a tough day, I got to be amazing, but on a regular day, I can just be excellent.
Oh, my gosh. So listen, Alfred, we're going to talk a little bit about that because today is about how to stop being a jack of all trades. And you are a man who has the inside track into business, and it's a tough arena. And yet you're having excellent and amazing days. What's the secret? What did you figure out about being a jack of all trades for yourself first?
Well, first of all, you don't have your determination of what kind of day you have is not determined by the day. It's determined by you. So one of my mentors, Wayne Sobers, passed on to me that one day he made up his mind he was never going to have another bad day. And once he decided that, he never had another bad day because it wasn't a function of what happened during the course of the day. It was a function of his mindset and approach to the day.
Wow.
And similar to him, it took me a while to get it, but eventually, people say, how are you? And I always say, excellent. I'm only two ways, excellent or amazing.
Right.
It depends on what the day requires. On a regular day, I'm excellent because that's what I'm committed to.
Okay.
And then if I'm challenged, then you might have to do something amazing to get through the day.
Alfred, that's powerful because what you're addressing is mindset. And speaking of mindset is critical in business. You've seen all types of businesses as the Senior Vice President and Chief Content Officer of Black Enterprise. What makes a business successful and actually worthy of even being within the pages of Black Enterprise magazine?
Well, I mean, the first is the obvious. We like it if you're making some money.
Okay. Yeah, hey.
People really, we still get amazed by people who are, pitching to be in Black Enterprise, on blackenterprise.com, on one of our TV shows, and they give us every piece of information but their revenues. And we're like, that's how we keep score in business. If it was football, I'd like to know how many points you scored.
Sure.
In business, we want to know how much money you're making. Now, it doesn't mean you have to be making, Oprah Winfrey or, Bill Gates money to get into Black Enterprise. But, if you're not making money in the short run, you might not be making money. When you're just getting started, you're getting, your pre-revenue. But at some point, the way you measure your performance is by whether you're making any money or not. Are people validating your product and service in the marketplace by saying, yes, I will swipe a credit card. Yes, I will write a check. Yes, I will contract you to do this.
Absolutely. So to that point of that revenue being what validates, Alfred, there are so many people out here who are saying, well, let me get the check then. So they may bake cookies on the weekend, and then Monday through Thursday they're a consultant. And, folks have all of these different irons in the fire because we've been told to create multiple streams of income. But it sounds like folks are getting that a bit twisted. What are your thoughts when it comes to streamlining business practices while still having some sort of diversification?
Well, the word that people have to pay attention to is the word efficiency. So the goal is to create multiple streams of income from the one or two things that you are known to be good at. So you have a brand reputation that says, Zakiya is this. Now, how many ways can Zakiya generate revenue because she's good at X?
Yes.
So I'll give you a very, very, very basic example.
Okay.
I'm a tomato farmer.
Sure.
And what I do is I grow tomatoes. I don't grow cucumbers. I don't grow, apples. I grow tomatoes. The way I create multiple streams of income is I make ketchup. I make tomato paste. I might have restaurant customers that I create tomato products for them that's different from what I create for a custom chef, which is different from what I create for a grocery store. But it's all driven by this fact that no one grows better tomatoes than I do.
Period.
Now, if I can grow another crop along with my tomatoes that complements what I'm doing, let's say peppers, because a lot of people like tomatoes and peppers,
sure.
and I can create other dishes, but I'm still using the same skill sets, the same resources, the same capital, the same equipment to expand my offerings, but still stay within the reputation of my brand and what I'm good for or known for, then that's how you create multiple streams of income. Now, but I can't say I'm a tomato farmer, and by the way, I have a string of hair salons.
Yes. Yes.
If those two things don't have anything to do with each other.
Nothing to do with each other. Alfred, first of all, you already cut to the chase. Listen, we're talking to Alfred Edmond Jr., Senior Vice President, Chief Content Officer of Black Enterprise, on how to stop being a jack of all trades. And when I tell you within the past 2 minutes he summed it up and basically changed some lives, Alfred, really? Amazing. Amazing. So we've got entrepreneurs listening who are at varying levels, and you just gave us incredible insight. Alfred, what are your tips when it comes to branding and eliminating being that jack of all trades for folks starting out, and then for our seasoned entrepreneurs?
Well, my first one, and I'm not going to go but so far without highlighting the fact that we are coming to Houston with the Black Enterprise Entrepreneurs Summit in a couple of weeks. We expect it to be 1,000 entrepreneurs, the largest gathering of African-American entrepreneurs each year in the country. So you definitely want to check that out. But the first thing I tell people, no matter what stage of business they're in, is not to be isolated. The best thing you can do is to get around other entrepreneurs who either have been where you are or they have arrived where you're trying to get to.
Yes.
We lose so much time, and I'm speaking for myself personally because it took me a year as a relatively new entrepreneur to get it myself, trying to just figure it out on our own. It's our own idea, it's our own thing, not realizing that somebody already solved the problem that we're trying to solve.
Yes.
Somebody already figured out your cash flow issue. Somebody already figured out brand messaging appropriate for the customers you're trying to serve. So the first thing I tell people is get around other entrepreneurs, and the Black Enterprise Entrepreneur Summit is an ideal opportunity, especially if you're anywhere, within a 2-hour radius of Houston.
That's right.
To get next to the people like you, for example. Why figure out branding on your own when you can get to Zakiya Larry and she could say, "Listen, this is what you're missing. This is what you're skipping. Let me shortcut you and keep you from spending 5 years to solve a 1 month problem because you spent 5 years looking."
And Alfred, before we go to break, I'm so glad you mentioned that. And since you're on the line, let's do a big old surprise for the audience here. I am giving away a free pass to the Black Enterprise Entrepreneurs Summit. Free pass. And it's going to be May 17th through the 20th right here in Houston. You can register at blackenterprise.com/ES, but you might want to win it for free. So here are the quick details. Use the hashtag BESummit and hashtag ZL Live. Whoever posts the most notes and insights from today's show will win this free pass worth $495 for full registration to the Black Enterprise Entrepreneur Summit here in Houston, May 17th through the 20th. Alfred, what do you think about that? I think they should be there.
That is cool, and hopefully I'll get to meet you. I hope I'll meet everybody who comes. But if you win, come holler at me. Act like you know somebody.
You heard it right here from the man himself. Thank you so much, Alfred. And we will see you in Houston, May 17th through the 20th at the Black Enterprise Entrepreneurs Summit. It's Zakiya Larry Live.
Zakiya Larry Live. Everybody has a past, so together we'll use all of it to unlock your purpose. It's about real life, real talk, real change. Welcome to Zakiya Larry Live.
1520. KYND.
The Natural Nation Network is really about taking control of your health physically, spiritually, emotionally, even intellectually, because there's so much out there in misinformation. There's a lot of people now that are suffering from all sorts of diseases that they really wouldn't have to suffer for if they had better information. And that's what we're here to do. provide information that can save lives.
The mind and the body are totally connected.
Health can be really serious, and sometimes we just have to lighten it up a little bit while we're still providing substantive information.
So cardiovascularly speaking, what emotion is attached?
You think it's love?
A broken heart.
A broken heart.
Tune into Natural Nation every Tuesday at 11 a.m. on KYND.
You have something special. You have greatness in you. Hello, my name is Les Brown, and I want to invite you to join me on KYND Monday from 9 o'clock until 10. It's radio that is designed to help you to live your dreams rather than your fears. A lot of people are talking about what's going on in the White House. I say focus on what's going on in your house. We're going to teach you how to begin to overcome your fears, how to identify the goals that you want to achieve and make them happen, and how to begin to get negative, toxic people out of your life. You have something special. You have greatness within you. Listen to me Monday from 9 o'clock until 10 on KYND. You have something special. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Rushion McDonald. Wow. That means something today, but when I started in Fifth Ward, Texas, with my brothers, two brothers, I have 6 sisters, I didn't know what I wanted to be. So when I...
From spring to Sugar Land, on the air everywhere. Everywhere. The powerful 1520.
Zakiya Larry live in the building. Hey there, welcome back. Today is already so incredible. We just talked to Alfred Edmond Jr., SVP of Black Enterprise and Chief Content Officer. And listen, I just announced a huge contest. Whoever tweets and posts on social media, Facebook and Twitter specifically, the most notes about branding and how to stop being a jack of all trades, whoever posts the most notes using hashtag BE Summit and ZL Live, you win a free pass to the Black Enterprise Entrepreneurs Summit in Houston, May 17th through the 20th. That's a $500 value for free just for posting the most notes. I got to know you're listening. So let's get into it. Let's go deeper. How to stop being a jack of all trades. I have on the line guru, oh my gosh, $1 million brand builder, Vicki Irvin. Hey, Vicki, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I am doing amazing. Vicki, I love that lip color. That's so pretty.
Thank you. I had to do something to distract from like an alien here with my headphones on.
You know, it's the radio life. We got our headphones on here, doing it big. You look gorgeous. Yeah. Vicki, listen, I don't know another person who is so clear on how to build $1 million brands, because out of the gate, your first company, let me repeat that, church, Vicki's first company made $1 million. Can you just talk to the people about that, Vicki? Tell us a little bit about your how.
Yeah, Zakiya, it was amazing. Nothing I ever expected. I just know that I was tired of working a 9 to 5, and so I'd asked some mentors what was something that I could actually get involved with. And at the time, they were like, real estate investing and coaching in real estate's really big. So I learned how to invest in real estate for myself, and very quickly was like, oh, this isn't as hard as I thought. And so I started training other people on how to invest in real estate in my local area, and I live in the DC area. And the program blew up, and it blew up because I was coached to understand that I'm a marketer, and that positioning myself very differently from everybody else, and standing out from everybody else, and building a list and marketing with systems was going to make that business successful. And so I did that, and before I looked up, it was a multi-million-dollar business within 12 months. And part of the time I was still working my 9 to 5.
What?
Because I was too good to be true.
Oh my gosh. Vicki.
I was like, I'm not leaving here until I know this is real. Probably my boss was like, get out of here.
At your point, your boss was like, ma'am, you're making more than all of us. Please exit. Stage left. We love you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. Vicki, you said so many things just in that one answer. One, congratulations. Two.
Thank you.
Yes. Two, you coach people. You've sought mentors, and now you coach people, not just in real estate. So tell me a little bit about the type of coaching you do and what people are learning from your programs.
Yeah, I coach, I mostly work with women entrepreneurs. on getting their businesses up to a point where they can actually have consistent profit, because so many women entrepreneurs are like waking up every day and they don't know how they're going to make their next dollar because they don't have systems. And so I focus on building systems into their business, finding ways to attract their dream clients who are the perfect clients for them, setting their price points at the right place, and then being able to close and convert people into their programs or their products or services, whatever they're selling. And so I have a very heavy focus on trying to get women to profit consistently and know what they're doing every day with a real plan versus kind of willy-nilly, and getting their businesses to 6- and 7-figure levels.
Vicki, you said real plan. You said building systems. That's all about consistency. It sounds a little bit like you can't be a jack of all trades and do that. Talk to us about the danger of being a jack of all trades, and then too, how to stop doing that.
Yeah, you know what I think is happening is that I think, okay, with social media, everyone's posting pictures and making it look like they're doing so great, right? Oh, I'm speaking here, I'm speaking there, but like 9 out of 10 aren't even getting paid, right? So everyone's doing all this stuff for free. And so, and they see the party speaking, and then they see someone coaching, and then they want to be in the health business, and they want to be a life coach. It's like, okay, stop. Please. Okay? You have to figure out what you're good at, how you can bring about transformation in someone's life. So you have to have a positive impact. People want results. When people invest money with you, they want results. So you have to have a true expertise and gift in a specific area, and you want to hone in on that area and put yourself out there and market and brand yourself and be known for that one particular area, because if you can't be for everybody, and everyone's trying to do everything for everybody, and it leads to confusion in the marketplace. And so stop being a jack of all trades, hone in on a niche. I say there's riches and niches. That's one of my phrases. Let people know that you are specifically for them, and that'll attract more people to you.
Vicki, that's so powerful. Riches are in niches.
Yes, ma'am.
I love when you say that and how you position it, because I've been honored to both attend and train at your events. So here's my question, though, Vicki. What if a person says, okay, niche, I get it, but literally I am just good at more than one thing, Vicki. So how do I pick which one? How do you know which one to pick and which one could be the most lucrative? Where do we even start?
Right. So it's kind of easy to tell, like, we call this thing called what's the fastest way to cash, right?
Right.
So some things, you know, everyone's caught up in all this passion talk, and everybody knows I like go against all this passion and purpose talk that I think is getting women like all confused. And so you have to figure out what the market is dictating. Is there a high demand for this? It's not about what you think people need. It's about listening to the market and what they tell you they want. And you create your product and your business and your services around what the market is telling you that they want, not what you think they need. Oh, they need this. That's what I hear entrepreneurs and coaches say all the time. Oh, my people, they need this. This is going to be good for them. And then they create these products, and when they go to launch them, nobody buys it because they don't want that. Listen to them, right? And so when you're trying to stop being a jack of all trades, you find the path, the fastest way to cash. And if you do have more than one business, because I definitely do, you create it, you run them separately, and you appeal to the different markets. I have a lipstick line. I don't market my lipstick and my makeup to my business coaching clients. 2 separate businesses, 2 different niches. And so I market them separately, and I run them completely separately. The clients I go after are totally different. And so if you do have more than one business, that's fine, but you have to run them completely separately.
More than one business is fine. Run them completely separate. Vicki, I will add, though, to that, you're still consistent with your brand. And that's one of the things I coach on. We're going to be doing the Z method a little later in the show. But here's what I want folks to understand and see in your real life super success story. You have 2 separate companies. You have the business folks, you have the cosmetics line, but Vicki, your overarching brand has been Superwoman Lifestyle and Superwoman Lifestyle TV. Talk to us about that and how you were able to branch into different areas of business with that core brand.
Right. So when I created the brand Superwoman Lifestyle and Business, Beauty, and Balance. Those were kind of like my 3 pillars that I always marketed, right? And so I set it up that way so that if I wanted to branch off and create different income streams and different profit centers within the main focus of the business, I could without it being confusing and without it making sense, not making sense to people. So the business, of course, I do the coaching. Then the beauty, there came a point where I said, well, let me expand on the beauty portion of my business. And I created the line with lipsticks that, you know, success and passion and words that were buzzwords for the market that I had, but it fit. It fit under Superwoman lifestyle, taking care of yourself inside and out. You know, I'm into exercise and physical fitness, Zakiya.
Right.
And so living a healthy lifestyle, being able to run your business and doing it all while looking good was always a part of my brand. So when I created that business, I set it up so that if I wanted to expand at some point, I could make it make sense.
Oh my goodness. Vicki, that's incredible. Now, I know that you coach women in business, but you've also worked with some incredible men. I don't know, Stedman Graham. Hello, business guru. Talk to us about those alliances.
Yeah. I try to pick people, like when I've been doing events for 10 years between the real estate and what I do now, live events. And so I try to bring in speakers and align myself with people who think similar. A lot of the stuff that Stedman does when he speaks to Fortune 500 companies and the universities and colleges that he goes to, is on branding, and it's on building a brand and setting yourself apart. And so we had a lot of synergy when we got together because we had the same philosophies on business, so that made sense. And when he saw what I was doing, and I don't think Stedman was used to coming to an event where they were all typically African-American women, you know, right, because the Fortune 500 companies are bringing up, and he was amazed that I was able to bring out women, and he wanted to be a part of that. And so he's spoken at my events several times now. We've done some CDs together, and just because we had that great synergy, I try to align myself with people who I think could give my audience something new and somebody with credibility.
Yes.
And so I don't just put anybody on my stages, as you know, Zakiya. That's why you were there.
And I'm grateful. Thank you.
People who really have something that's a great fit for my audience that they can leave with some great takeaways.
Vicki, incredible. Hey guys, if you have a question for Vicki Irvin, the number is 832-230-5592. Very rarely do we have this sort of direct access to these elite level folks. So Vicki, thank you so much for being with us. Now listen, Vicki, I have one more quick question before we go to break, and Vicki has agreed to hang out with us after the break. So Vicki, my quick question before we go to break. We're going to get into a few more business tips, but let's just address a quick mindset. What about folks who are afraid of success? You know, there are a few people who subconsciously may say, you know, people may talk about me. They may think I'm the bougie one. How do we get over that? Because we got to get to these millions, and we don't have time, Vicki. How do we get rid of that?
Yeah, this is what I always tell people who are afraid of success, of blowing up. I think we were all raised to be humble, right?
Yes.
And so when you're marketing, you have a business, you have to promote yourself. You have to talk about how good you are to get clients. That's a part of it. But people are uncomfortable doing that. And so a lot of the women especially are afraid that their friends and their family are going to say, oh, who does she think she is now? How dare she kind of step out of her comfort zone? And the biggest thing is that other people don't like you to get attention. That's what I find. It's not even so much about the money you start to make. It's about the attention that you get from other people. And so I tell these ladies and even the guys, listen, people are going to talk about you whether you're doing good or bad, right? People don't just start talking about you when you're doing good. They're already talking about you. So let them talk about you while you are making your money and making a difference in this world.
And there it is. Coming back, we're going to be with Vicki Irvin. You're listening to Zakiya Larry Live.
Hey, go refresh your coffee or send that quick email and come right back. There's more coming up next on Zakiya Larry Live.
From Kingwood to Katy, on the air everywhere. Everywhere. The powerful 1520.
Rushion McDonald, wow. That means something today, but when I started in Fifth Ward, Texas, with my brothers, two brothers, I have 6 sisters, I didn't know what I wanted to be. So when I look at what I've accomplished today, you can do it. You can be that person. You can be Rushion. You can be Magic Johnson. You can be anybody you want to be mentally. I've worked with some of the best celebrities in this country. Kevin Hart, Jamie Foxx, Monique, Tamara Mowry, Gabrielle Union. So I've surrounded myself with a degree of success that stuns most people. But I'm not satisfied. I'm not satisfied when I got 2 Emmys. So my future now is to be able to share what I know. You know, they said, make America greater. How about making you greater? Call me. Money Making Conversations. 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. KYND 1520 a.m. I'll be live in studio. The kind of talk that inspires change.
The Natural Nation Network is really about taking control of your health physically, spiritually, emotionally, even intellectually, because there's so much out there in misinformation. There's a lot of people now that are suffering from all sorts of diseases that they really wouldn't have to suffer for if they had better information. And that's what we're here to do. Provide information that can save lives.
The mind and the body are totally connected.
Health can be really serious, and sometimes we just have to lighten it up a little bit while we're still providing substantive information.
So cardiovascularly speaking, what emotion is attached?
You think it's love?
A broken heart.
A broken heart?
Tune into Natural Nation every Tuesday at 11 a.m. on KYND.
You have something special. You have greatness in you. Hello, my name is Les Brown, and I want to invite you to join me on KYND Monday from 9 o'clock until 10. It's radio that is designed to help you to live your dream.
KYND. It's about connection.
It's about community.
It's about empowerment.
It's about you.
The kind of talk that inspires change.
Hey, it's Zakiya Larry, and you're listening to Zakiya Larry Live on KYND 1520 AM.
What's your name, please?
It's Zakiya Larry.
That's right. We said it, and we're proud of it.
I can't.
Welcome back to Zakiya Larry Live. I have on the line with us Vicki Irvin, who's a $1 million business branding guru, founder of Superwoman Lifestyle and Superwoman Lifestyle TV. And as a matter of fact, if you want to see Vicki in her gorgeous lipstick colors, Vicki is on Skype. So you can not only listen on the radio at KYND 1520 AM in Houston, but you can go online to ZakiyaLarry.com and watch the live feed, or you can go to my Facebook page, Zakiya Larry, and watch Vicki and I have this conversation. Be sure to share the video. Real quick before we jump back into some more questions with Vicki, because she is lighting social media up. Speaking of lighting up social media, Vicki, people cannot take it, okay? Speaking of lighting up social media, I am giving away a free pass to the Black Enterprise Entrepreneurs Summit here in Houston, May 17th through the 20th. Now listen, that's a $500 value given away for free. Just enter this contest. All you got to do is use the hashtag ZLLive and hashtag BE Summit, like Black Enterprise, hashtag BE Summit, and post as many notes as you can from today. Whomever posts the most notes about business and branding and how to stop being a jack of all trades from today's show will win a free pass to the Black Enterprise Entrepreneurs Summit. So let's go. All right, Vicki, thank you for staying with us after this break.
Of course.
Yes, yes. Vicki, you have been giving insight. I mean, absolute gold. What I'll ask you, though, is what's one of the most common branding questions people ask you?
You know what they ask? Can you brand me, right?
They just get straight to it. They don't even try to do it themselves, right?
Yeah, they're like, well, can you brand me? I'm like, okay. So I have this thing about branding because I think there's so many misconceptions about it.
Oh.
I think that there's a lot of branding experts out there who have never created a brand themselves. I think people are reading a lot of stuff online and then they're regurgitating what they read. But when you talk about branding someone, it has to be supported by other things. You can call yourself anything you want, but if no one knows you exist because you can't market or you don't know how to attract clients, it doesn't amount to anything. And so I tell people, branding is a part of it. You want to have a unique position in the market. You want to do things different from everyone else. You want to stand out for sure, but it also has to be supported by you knowing who exactly your clients are, where they are, and how to reach them and bring them to you. So sometimes people think it's like a magic wand. If I get a good brand and just the floodgates are going to open and I'm rich, and it does not work like that.
Wow. Wow. So, Vicki, where can one start? Because we're not going to give away all the goods, because when I tell you this woman has programs that will blow your mind, but we'll give folks things they can use today. Where can people start finding out where their audience is? What's that first step?
The first step is to figure out who your product or your service is perfect for. You have to look at, is it, male or females? And if it's a female, it can't just be all women. Well, what kind of women?
Yes.
What nationality? Maybe it's a religious thing. Maybe it's a certain age group. And maybe it's a certain income bracket, because beyond everything else, when you talk about your ideal client, they have to be able to afford you. And so no matter how great they are, if they can't afford you, they're not your client. And you cannot lower your services and your prices and barter with people to make it work. And so you have to start with knowing your price point and who can support that and what kind of income they have to make to even come on board with you. And then you need to know the issues and problems that basically keep them up at night. What keeps them tossing and turning? And how can you provide solutions to that so that they see through your marketing, she gets me. That's who I need to be working with. So that's kind of how you figure out how to start with your brand. Know exactly who your client is and develop everything around that.
That is so good. Vicki, we have Alfred Edmond Jr. He's commenting on social media saying Vicki is on point. She absolutely knows what she's talking about. Let me tell you, Vicki, I mean, folks are just so into what you're saying. So
awesome.
right before we wrap up, you said you have to know your client and know what they want. Don't just create stuff and try to force it down people's throats. And then you mentioned a lot about being a marketer. A lot of folks do a ton of posting on social media, but what is that one key thing one should remember when marketing themselves or their brand?
Well, you know what? Posting on social media is just not going to cut it. So you have to, like I said, figure out where people are. There's a whole world out there, right?
Yeah.
And so when you're marketing, you're trying to find the right clients and you're trying to spread yourself out there. Find out where they are. Learn how to use Facebook advertising. There's millions of people out there. And what's going on now is that, I don't know how it is where you live in Texas, but in everyone's local area, all the same business people know each other and they all come to each other's events and all the same people's in the audience. And there's a whole world out there. Find your own clients. Stop fishing in the same pond for the same people. Right? And so you have to become savvy beyond just posting links on social media. Learn how to use Facebook advertising the right way. Learn how to drill down, because it's phenomenal, to exactly who your client is, and let the ads run all over the world to bring in clients.
Wow.
So that's my best advice, is like, stop banding together with local people because it feels safe and comfortable. There's a whole world out there that you could be tapping into.
Oh my gosh, a whole world out there you can be tapping into. Vicki, Irvin, how do we invest in ourselves as a beginning, mid-level, or successful entrepreneur to go deeper with you? How do we find you?
You can find me at VickiIrvin.com. It's VickiIrvin.com. I have some free resources so you can hear what I'm talking about, some really good stuff that I spent some time putting out there. And if you want to connect with me, you can find me there and we can hook up.
And how do I get that gorgeous berry color you're wearing on your lips? What website is that? Okay, yes.
SWLcollection.com.
I love it. I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, the Vicki Irvin, thank you so much for joining us and changing lives today, lady. Thank you. Thank you. Guys, remember, keep posting using hashtag ZLLive, hashtag BE Summit to win your free pass to the Black Enterprise Entrepreneurs Summit, May 17th through 20th at the Houston Marriott Marquis. Ooh, that's going to be nice. So listen, make sure you're still posting. Whomever posts the most notes from today's show will win that pass, and I'm going to announce that on Facebook Live on Wednesday at noon Central on my page, so make sure you're posting the most notes. Now listen, some powerful women behind some very real brands will explain the Z method. Because, see, we talked to Alfred Edmond Jr. about how to stop being a jack of all trades, and he gave us examples. Vicki Irvin just gave us real tools to use today about being a marketer and finding your audience. And now it's time for the Z method. I'm going to help you understand how to find your core, because if you're still saying, I'm going to use all that stuff, I still just don't know who I am and what I should offer, we're going to get into that now. And you know what? I can show you better than I can tell you. And like Reading Rainbow, LeVar Burton used to say, you don't have to take my word for it. So stick around, listen to these women who have a very clear and real experience using the Z method. And after this break, we will jump into that. You have absolutely got to see this, guys. You've got to see it.
Zakiya, she touched on so many great points. Just really helped to identify our brands, our core, and how all of them just come together and we just have have to make sure that family, career, our goals, and our self all come together as one. And I'm just so happy that I met her. She's an inspiration to me, and I can't wait to work with her in the future.
My name is Nicole Mason, and I'm from the Washington, D.C. area. And just in this short amount of time in Zakiya's session today, I am clear on what my brand is and how to create the messaging around it.
For me, it just helped me understand how important it is to bring everything together. I am all over the place. I have many gifts, and this just helped give me some direction, and it just brought it home.
My name is Dr. Katrina Pullum, and I am from Dallas, Texas. I'm known as the chain breaker. After coming to Zakiya's session today, I learned that I am actually the people's healer. I learned what my core was. It was very informational. She went through the Z method with us within an hour, and she was on time and on target with everything. She has my mind blowing. I came to the wealth experience this weekend to learn who I am, and I learned a lot about me that, you know, I need to stop being a jack of all trades and come down to what my core is, and that's healing.
Hey, it's your elevation strategist, Zakiya Larry, and you're listening to Zakiya Larry Live on KYND 1520 AM.
Zakiya Larry Live. Liking the conversation? Tell a friend to tune in to KYND, the kind of talk that inspires change.
The Natural Nation Network is really about taking control of your health physically, spiritually, emotionally, even intellectually, because there's so much out there in misinformation. There's a lot of people now that are suffering from all sorts of diseases that they really wouldn't have to suffer for if they had better information. And that's what we're here to do. Provide information that can save lives.
The mind and the body are totally connected.
Health can be really serious, and you know, sometimes we just have to lighten it up a little bit while we're still providing substantive information.
So cardiovascularly speaking, what emotion is attached?
You think it's love?
A broken heart.
A broken heart.
Tune into Natural Nation every Tuesday at 11 a.m. on KYND.
You have something special. You have greatness in you. Hello, my name is Les Brown, and I want to invite you to join me on KYND Monday from 9 o'clock until 10. It's radio that is designed to help you to live your dreams rather than your fears. A lot of people are talking about what's going on in the White House. I say focus on what's going on in your house. We're going to teach you how to begin to overcome your fears, how to identify the goals that you want to achieve and make them happen, and how to begin to get negative, toxic people out of your life. You have something special. You have greatness within you. Listen to me Monday from 9 o'clock until 10 on KYND. You have something special. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Rushion McDonald, wow. That means something today, but when I started in Fifth Ward, Texas, with my brothers, two brothers, I have 6 sisters, I didn't know what I wanted to be. So when I look at what I've accomplished today, you can do it. You can be that person. You can be Rushion. You can be Magic Johnson. You can be anybody you want to be mentally. I've worked with some of the best celebrities in this country. Kevin Hart, Jamie Foxx, Monique, Tamara Mowry, Gabrielle Union. So I've surrounded myself with a degree of success that stuns most people. But I'm not satisfied. I'm not satisfied when I got 2 Emmys. So my future now is to be able to share what I know. You know, they said, make America greater. How about making you greater? Call me. Money Making Conversations. 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. KYND 1520 a.m. I'll be live in studio. The kind of talk that inspires change.
The Natural Nation Network is really about taking control of your health physically, spiritually, emotionally, even intellectually, because there's so much out there in misinformation. There's a lot of people now that are suffering from all sorts of diseases that they really wouldn't have to suffer for if they had better information. And that's what we're here to do. Provide information that can save lives.
The mind and the body are totally connected.
Health can be really serious, and you know, sometimes we just have to lighten it up a little bit while we're still providing substantive information.
So cardiovascularly speaking, what emotion is attached?
You think it's love?
A broken heart.
A broken heart.
Tune into Natural Nation every Tuesday at 11 a.m. on KYND.
You have something special. You have greatness in you. Hello, my name is Les Brown, and I want to invite you to join me on KYND Monday from 9 o'clock until 10. It's radio that is designed to help you to live your dreams.
1520 KYNDradio.com.
Hey there, it's Zakiya Larry Live. We are talking about how to stop being a jack of all trades. Alfred Edmond Jr., SVP and Chief Content Officer for Black Enterprise, literally changed the game with some examples about how to make sure you're cutting that out. $1 Million brand builder Vicki Irvin talked to us about how to branch out into other arenas and how to effectively market. And then you heard some amazing women in business talk about, even though they've been successful, they needed to find their core because they were still kind of all over the place. So as you are working through all of the tips that Vicki and Alfred have given today, you may still say, I got to get to my core. And see, that's who I am and what I do. As an elevation strategist, not only do I elevate brand moods and ideas through speaking, strategic public relations, and media coaching, but I also help you find your core. Because you cannot market or monetize something that you are unclear about. And that relates to your brand, that relates to your life. And so for today, from a brand perspective, I am going to do the Z method. Take notes and make sure you do this for yourself. You're going to hear me ask questions to a particular woman. Imagine that I'm asking those questions to you because you need to walk away with your core and a clear plan for being a better entrepreneur and eliminating being a jack of all trades. Here we go. It's the Z method. Mini Z method, we're going to fly through it. The reason it's mini is because this literally takes days to do, but I'll just show you what it looks like. It's a grid. It identifies your core. I want to look at perceptions across the board. We're going to look at home, business. Do you go to church?
No.
Okay. Are you a community activist? Do you volunteer?
No. Yes.
Okay, you volunteer in your
Yes.
community? Okay, community. And then let's look at your aspirations. So at home, good, bad, or ugly, give me 3 words that people would say about you and your family. What are their thoughts about you?
Bright, colorful, enthusiastic.
In your business, what would your clients say if they knew you were not listening, good, bad, or ugly?
Very calm.
3 things you need to have: honest, look into. Okay, give me 2 more.
Professional.
Okay.
Integrity.
Okay, perfect. In your community, you do volunteer work. Who do you volunteer for?
A wellness center.
Okay, so the wellness center is connected to your business. What would they say about you and your volunteerism?
Extremely dedicated.
Okay.
Phenomenal teacher.
Huh. Okay. Okay, so your aspirations. When you look at your business, and especially when you are thinking about media, who do you want to be? This is what people are saying you are. Who do you want to be?
In the media, Zakiya Larry.
Thank you. No, but across the board, who would you like to be?
The soulful, the spiritual component that Oprah now teaches.
Anything else? You can add one more.
Help.
No, you don't have to. You actually don't have to. Okay, this is good. A lot of times we use adjectives. You're like, I'm happy, I'm nice. People think that's not your core. Those are descriptives of your core. Okay? So, again, these would all be custom for who you are and where you're going. A lot more in depth. We pull some stuff out of it. I've had a pastor out of Houston to stop his session and cry. Okay? But this is our mini method. We've looked at perceptions in different areas of her life. Now, home, bright and colorful. In business, you're calm, professional, you operate with integrity. Your aspiration is to be more of that Oprah piece, but on the soul side of things, that holistic. In your volunteerism, extremely dedicated. People think you're phenomenal, you're a teacher. Here's what I see as a common thread. At your core, the day you were born, by looking at these, you're a teacher. At your core, you're a thought leader. I'll stop there. The reason finding your core is important is because when you know you're a teacher and you know you're a thought leader, as long as your messages include the fragrance of a teacher or a thought leader, you've hit a home run because your brand is congruent. Does that make sense? Yes. How many of us know a jack of all trades? Like, I do hair and I cook and I mow lawns. Okay? Your core also helps you to either bring together all of those trades or find out which ones to kick out. If you're not doing something that feeds you as a teacher, you're not doing something that feeds you as a thought leader, you just have given yourself another job. What this also means is this is huge for reinvention. If you ever get tired of what you're doing, all you got to do is find something that feeds this. Find yourself, not the job or company. So if you know you're a teacher, you can always teach on the holistic piece. Or you can just say, I literally am going to go to the collegiate level and teach in their department, whatever is here. I found my core. Remember I told you I'd get to that? And I told you that I know my core. A part of my core is that I'm a teacher and I'm a nurturer. I'll show you stuff and love on you while I do it, period. My jobs will change, my mood will change, but everything I do has to feed that, so media coaching makes sense. Public relations, because I pull out of you what's in there and blow it up for the world to see, that makes sense. I'm nurturing, I'm pulling. So find your core and you find your messages. So your media message would include teacher, thought leader. So anywhere you go, you'd include your name, who you are and what you do, operate out of your core. You'd say, across the board, I'm a teacher. And because of that, I take everything that I've learned over the years, especially in the realm of holistic health and healing. People know that I'm calm, but they know that I love great results. And so, as a teacher who shows people how to find wellness, I do the following three things. So everywhere you go, you now know that you're a teacher. You can decide today that you're teaching on wellness. You can decide tomorrow that you're teaching dance lessons, because look, we saw the skills.
I love it.
You can decide that tomorrow. But for the rest of your life, you know that your messaging setup that will appeal to people across the board needs to come from your core, and your talking point will be, as a teacher, I do. And you can always change the do. The do changes every day. But who and why, this core, does not change. Thank you so much. He did a great job. Was that good? Did y'all enjoy that? It's intense though, right? The Z method. Your events change, your products change, your books change, but when you're speaking from your core as a representative and as the business owner, these messages you will use forever.
Zakiya Larry.
That was intense, right? Let me sum this up for you. I use the term messages a lot because it's important for you to know how to communicate your brand. And in order to communicate your brand, you have to define it. And the Z method helps you to define your brand, because once you define it, you then bring in that expertise that Alfred Edmond Jr. shared, and you make sure you know your target audience, and you make sure you diversify from that, what did he say, one place. And the Z method uncovers your core, your one place, and you build your line of business from that one place. Vicki Irvin then told you how to market that. And Vicki herself has multiple lines of business, but she came from a core brand. So this is the stuff that success is made of. This is the purpose of Zakiya Larry Live and the reason that we're hanging out here together. So listen, when people stop by, You know I love to give gifts. I didn't have a chance to do it, so I had to go get some more stuff for you. So go to my website, ZakiyaLarryLive.com, and scroll down and download your free gifts, because I put together some worksheets that will help you to start to master your message. We're going to do this together. Now remember, if you are participating in a contest to win a free pass to the Black Enterprise Entrepreneur Summit, here are the quick details. You literally have like 1 minute left. Use the hashtag ZLLive, hashtag BE Summit, win a pass to the Black Enterprise Entrepreneur Summit here in Houston, May 17th through the 20th. As a matter of fact, Alfred Edmond will be there. He said, come holler at your boy, come speak to him. I will be teaching a branding and marketing workshop at the Black Enterprise Entrepreneur Summit, so you got to be in the building. And so make sure you keep hanging out with me, Zakiya Larry Live, and you'll never look at Mondays the same. Here's your 1 minute elevate. It's okay to have multiple talents, and it's okay to be interested in multiple things. Just make sure that they all help you to reach a main goal in life and business. Now, you don't have to be an entrepreneur to suffer from being a jack of all trades, but sometimes we just need direction, even purpose. So whether personal or professional, know this: your brand is your promise, and you've come built with that on the inside. I call it your core. Find it. And be it with me and the Z method, or be it on your own, just know that when you find your core, you streamline your brand and you can elevate your life. Let's hang out again next week. It's Zakiya Larry Live in the building.
The views and opinions expressed on KYND 1520 talk programs are those of the host, guest, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its owners, management, other hosts, or advertisers. Show topics on this station may include conversations on any lifestyle, belief, religion, political affiliation, or other personal practices. KYND, a Synergy Broadcasting Company.